Anna are pulling in.
Look, a famous person. Can you introduce yourself?
Look, a famous person.
We have down there. I'm gonna go get my.
This is Josh Fox, everybody. He's pretty cool.
Okay.
We gave him a press pass.
Javi
Yeah, and I lost it already.
Yeah.
I actually did
So
just
he's
lose
on
my
his
press
way.
pass. Should I go get new ones?
There's a really long line
Alright, forget it.
Adam
and a long wait.
here last night.
I have a different. I have one that says I'm
Oh, is he?
Aaron Schroeder. Should I just cross my name out? Cross your
Just
name.
wear it. We know who you are.
Stand next to me.
We trust you.
Go down there then.
Oh, look at that.
We know.
What did he say? Hi, Dad.
Hi.
Watching for you.
So what I'm doing, Dallas, is I'm
Where are we going
recording,
now?
and then I'm gonna post it.
What?
I'm recording, and then I'm gonna post it.
All right.
So-
Hi, relatives.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Get in here.
So today is should be a pretty powerful day. I mean, I already feel it. Already feeling it now. But you know, a lot of folks don't know what the Oceti Sakowin is. You know, it's a name, it's a concept. It's the 7 council fires. It's the Dakota, Nakota, Lakota nations all together. And so, for the first time here, we are going to officially create the traditional structure, which is a horn, which is a circle, where every one of those 7 fires are going to be present, and in the center of it will be the council fire, and trying to bring unity and some accountability for the camp, and really kind of ground it in the prayer, or re-ground it in the prayer that this camp has always reflected and been based on. So we're going to be lighting that fire down this way, and we have horseback riders are going to be coming in to support that effort. They're going to be doing ceremony and prayer along with us, and we have some runners, some Native youth runners who've ran, I believe, like 1,100 miles from Arizona, who are arriving today too. So kind of all that energy to focus it and really ground this camp in this space here as we move ahead. And I feel like we're on the edge of some transition for this movement, and like it's booming. The No DAPO campaign, this movement is like crazy booming right now. We have all this whole divestment campaign that is spreading across the globe. We have this whole political campaign applying political pressure on our elected leadership to be accountable and to speak up on the issue and to reject this pipeline. And we're gearing up for November 15th, which is a National Day of Action targeting Army Corps of Engineer offices all across the country to advocate for them to step up to the plate, hear the voices, order a full environmental impact statement, and to reject the pipeline permit to cross this river. So it's possible, and it's all of us that are making it happen.
Can you tell us where all the horse riders are coming from?
The horse, they're coming from all over
See
the
how
spot.
he couldn't
So
do
we
it,
have-
folks? He
we have
couldn't
the
walk
Bigfoot
away.
Riders. The Bigfoot ride is a commemorative ride. It's a memorial ride that they do every year. They follow the path of Chief Bigfoot and his band to the Wounded Knee Massacre. We have the Dakota 38 ride, it's a memorial ride for the Dakota 38 who were hung in 1862 in the largest mass hanging in U.S. history. That's a 200-mile ride. All those riders are coming in to support this effort. So they're bringing their prayers along with them. So it's going to be a pretty amazing moment.
And where should people go for updates?
Updates on Facebook, you can check out Indigenous Rising Media, Indigenous Environmental Network, Sacred Stone Camp are all Facebook pages that you can go to. You can check out Candy Mossett. She's famous. She's well known. And you can check out my page as well, Dallas Goldtooth. So those are for updates.
Okay.
Indigenous Rising Media.
Right here.
There's the man.
Thank you.
There's the man.
We just stood here.
I'm recording.
Okay, I gotta get down there.
Okay.
My phone's in your car.
Okay. Good. I'll listen to you.
Yes. Until we say no.
So tell us who you are.
Hi, I'm Aaron Schroeder. Here, I'm a citizen activist and journalist trying to raise the profile, trying to cover this. Because what's happening here is the convergence of environmental movement, human rights, peace, and justice. This is about so much more than one pipeline and one piece of land. This is about the watershed of 17 million people, a potential public health catastrophe. It's about human dignity. There are civil rights violations going on here. Let's be real. This is racist. This pipeline was supposed to go through predominantly white Bismarck. They rejected that idea. So here it is, skirting the edge of a Native American nation, of the Standing Rock Nation where we are. This is about the transport of crude oil. This is about so many more issues than one. which is why we're all here fighting for dignity, for human dignity, and for our collective future.
And are you comfortable telling us what happened with your own personal experience?
Yeah. We went out on Wednesday to cover a peaceful, non-violent direct action. Peaceful, prayerful people were attempting to cross a small river right over yonder. And water protectors, brave souls, went into the frigid waters to go to the other side, which is Army Corps of Engineer public land, to hold a prayer circle. And they were met with a wall of militarized police wielding assault rifles, wielding more cans of pepper spray and mace than I've ever seen in my life, not to mention the threat of arrest, of brutal assault, the way that 141 people were thrown into dog kennels less than a week prior. And I was standing with my iPhone interviewing a man about what was happening. And all of a sudden, I felt the most powerful blow to my lower back. And I whipped my head around. I had no idea what had just happened. And I saw 3 armed, I call them militarized police because I've only seen that level of armament in pictures of Iraq, in pictures of Afghanistan. This is North Dakota. And I saw a man with a gun. And I realized that I'd just been shot with a rubber bullet. I, standing with 2 feet firmly planted on the side of the river where they wanted people to retreat to, where there was absolutely nothing violent, aggressive, provocative happening, period. End of story. I was shot. I don't know if I was targeted because I had a camera in my hand and there's a clear attempt to censor the press here. You're seeing Shailene Woodley arrested while live streaming, Amy Goodman of Democracy Now! Pressed with charges, Dea Schlossberg on a related pipeline action facing 45 years in jail. And I was shot. No one else on that bank was shot. 2 other human beings were shot at far closer range than I. That's of 90 rubber bullets fired. 2 people end up dead. 18 end up permanently injured and 44 are hospitalized. So they say less lethal force. Let's be real about what's happening. So I was shot and I'm okay. I'm bruised, I'm battered, but this is not about me. This is about the brave souls in the front line. It's about the nonviolent direct action continuing. It's about people risking their lives for all of us. And now the police are denying that they were shot. They're saying it didn't happen. And that sort of erasure has been going on here in our country with Native Americans specifically for hundreds of years. This is also a compounding historic trauma that's bringing up every massacre from the times of Columbus. I don't have that. But my Native brothers and sisters are facing the same cavalry that came in the 1800s, now flipping open their teepees with assault rifles. This is the fight of our lives. I am proud to be here in solidarity to stand with Standing Rock. Come if you can. If you can't come, send someone. If you can't send someone, send something. Send donations, send money, and call your government. Because it's the power of the people that can stop this pipeline from desecrating these sacred lands. The damage has already been done, but we can prevent further degradation here and on other Native American nations and with other pipelines across the country.
Give me a hug. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You should meet Frank.
Like to record?
This is Frank Finnan.
Hi,
He came
Frank.
all the way from Dimick, PA, where Gasland starts, right? He also did all the FLIR footage. So if you've seen Gasland 2, the beginning with me holding that hose, that shot, that's Frank's work, and all the FLIR, all the gas finder camera work. So I don't know what you're doing here, but come here to be a troublemaker. Tell us why you're here.
This world, this country has been so dark for so long. We've been losing. And when I first heard about this, probably in September, I feel like this is the first light I've seen in my life where there's hope. We lost in Pennsylvania. And I was still fighting there, and I had to leave to come here because I think what's going on here would help us more than what we're doing for ourselves out there. And if this light goes out, it's not going to go out. This light's not going to go out.
Give me a hug. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
For people that might not know
Hi,
you,
how are you?
explain the movie you were just talking about.
Okay.
And stand over here, please.
Stand over here.
Yeah.
All right. So take my sunglasses off.
You can do whatever you want.
Hi, Candy. How are you?
I'm good.
And everybody else in the viewing audience. My name is Josh Fox. I made a film called Gasland, another film called Gasland 2, and more recently a film called How to Let Go of the World and Love All the Things Climate Can't Change, which we're hoping maybe we'll play tonight. On the side of that refrigerator truck, we'll see. And I've been doing some documentation of this place and all the actions here for Now This Media. I don't know, 8 years ago, the fracking industry knocked on my doorstep at the Delaware River Basin in PA, Pennsylvania, and I started to document that, and it became a film called Gasland, and that was, picked up on HBO and seen all over the world, and it's been one of the things that's helped, inform people about what's going on with fracking. This is fracked oil. This is a fracked oil pipeline coming from the Bakken Shale. But more than anything, I'm here because, like Frank said, this is the center of our movement right now, worldwide. It's a movement against fracking. It's a movement against climate change. It's a movement for indigenous sovereignty, most of all. It's a movement against racism. It's a movement against the abuse of human rights. It's a movement for democracy and for self-determination. All of these things are wrapped up together when we talk about, the state of the world. It's clear that if we're going to have democracy, we can't have fossil fuels. Democracy is dependent on us moving towards renewable energy. Because as you see, these fossil fuel companies would completely destroy our system of government, would overthrow the rule of law, would destroy sacred sites, would trample upon people's native rights and human rights. And it is my view that the fossil fuel industry is one of the most destructive things on the planet, not only to the environment, but also to democracy. And if we're going to restore American way of life, which is the Bill of Rights, democracy, and not devolve into the other America, which was manifest destiny and genocide and conquest, we absolutely have to defeat the Dakota Access Pipeline. We have to defeat all the pipelines, and we have to make that transition to renewable energy. But what you're seeing also here is, I think, a real cultural shift to something totally different. This is self-organizing. It's beautiful. It's self-sufficient. It exists because people care about community and mutual aid and helping each other. And it's like a magnet drawing me in. It's drawing in a lot of my friends. This is like wild because I feel like I walk around here and I'm like, oh, I'm walking around in California. No, I'm walking around in Brooklyn. No, I'm walking around in Pennsylvania. No, I'm walking around in upstate New York. Like, I'm walking around in Colorado. All these people from the movement across the United States that I've been touring to and meeting with the last 8 years, there's people representing everywhere. So it's one big community, and it's very, very welcoming. It's not dangerous by and large. There are some people on the front lines that are risking their health, risking their lives, risking their safety to stop the pipeline. And that's incredible bravery, and I applaud them. But there's a lot of stuff to do here. You can come here, you can chop wood, you can come here, you can cook, you can come here and help do graphic design. I saw the screen printing tent over there, which was fantastic. So this is the place where your creativity and the thing that you do best will be accepted and become a part of this incredible community. So I urge people to get here if they can. If you can't, sponsor someone to get here. That'll help, because there's a lot of people who want to come but can't afford it. But it's an amazing thing, and we got to win, because otherwise we don't have a planet, and we have to have a planet to live on, or else we're just some dead rock floating in the cold void of space.
Give me a hug. Thank you, Josh. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome. It's very fun.
Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna just get a few more people, and then we'll come back. I'm walking over here. Hi.
Hi.
Do you want to say a few words?
No.
Not really?
No.
You gotta represent us. Tell us where you're from.
White Shoals, North Dakota.
Where's that?
Northwest of Lake Sakowin, 3 affiliated tribes.
Well, just talk about a little bit about what's going on there.
Might as well interview them then.
You want me to interview them?
Yeah.
Hi, he's shy. Hi.
We're with
Hi.
Red Nation and Nick.
Come together. Come together. So, introduce yourselves.
Okay, so ja Hope Alvarado Union Shed 20 Chiki Nation Kai Bashi So Sonny Dashi Chamas the Apache Documentary National. My name is Hope and I'm with the Dynamics of Apache Comanche Nation.
I'm Jaden Cowboy. I'm 20. I'm from the Navajo Nation. I'm also part Diné.
Got a bene kiss Doshala. I'm Wheeler Cowboy from the Diné Nation.
Woohoo!
My Lakota relative.
Did you just get in?
Yeah, we got in this morning.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming and being here. What are your first initial thoughts?
A lot of change for winter. Everyone's starting to really
Get really
in
warm.
winter.
Yeah.
There's a lot more people.
Yeah, there's a lot of people.
We're here to definitely make sure that the black snake is killed. So whatever we can do to make that happen, we're gonna try and do that.
All right. We appreciate you.
It's not with the area, whatever we need.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. I'm standing on what's known as Media Hill or Facebook Hill, where we used to get service. And I'm going to go over here. I'm going to ask these folks here if they will say a few words. So you can look at the back here. What does it say? All right. Okay, turn around. Okay. So all of you, get in there. Bring it in. Bring it in. So if you would just introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about what you're doing here.
Go for it, Jen.
I'm Jen Cook with the ACLU of North Dakota, and we're here to support water protectors' rights today. And we're on the ground, and we're happy to be here.
Thank you.
My name's Meg Singer from Navajo Nation, but from ACLU of Montana, here to do some legal observing.
SK Rossi with ACLU of Montana, here to support ACLU of North Dakota's efforts and protect protester rights.
So somebody's watching this and they were like, what's the ACLU? What would you tell them?
That's a great question. To sum it up in a couple of words, the American Civil Liberties Union is one of the nation's oldest advocacy organizations supporting civil rights across the nation.
Awesome.
Whenever there's a mass protest or people are out protesting for their civil rights like they did in Ferguson or like any of the other uprisings that have happened across the country, the ACLU tries to be on the ground to protect their rights and press legal claims if we can find them.
All right. So we thank you. We thank you. Bring it in. Bring it in. Group hug. Group hug. Yay! All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So now we're going to go down the hill over here. I see a friend of mine that I want to also introduce folks to. Right over here. Da-da-da. Hi, good morning. Shake my hand, shake my hand. So I'm recording right now. And I wanted to know if you could just introduce yourself and let me know what you're doing here. What's going on here? For you specifically.
My name is Robert Chenate from the Kiowa Nation. I grew up in Carnegie, Oklahoma, and now live in Denver, Colorado. I've been here at the main Oceti Sakowin camp off and on since mid-August. I am part of an organization called the Indigenous Peoples Power Project, and our camp is located back there in the far northwest corner. If you want to come by, we try to do trainings every day at 2 p.m. around nonviolent direct action. So our group arrives in any community when we're invited. We wait for an invitation first. We don't just show up uninvited with all these ideas telling people what to do. We wait for an invitation and then we take lead from the local leadership and kind of follow whatever their parameters and principles are, and we try to help people organize around nonviolent direct action, everything from action support, strategy, tactics, within that certain skill sets like scouting, messaging, blockades, whatever you can think of that goes along with nonviolent direct action is what we try to do. We try to leave those skills there so that when we go, those people have those skills. We don't have to keep coming back and we're not relied upon as the experts. So we want to make sure that we grow that circle. We also say that we're not the experts. We have some experience, but every community, especially Native communities, have a rich tradition of resistance, a rich tradition of movement building, a strong tradition of forward movement and nonviolent direction in their own right. So we just try to help them tap back into that in case that's been something the fire's been dormant for a little bit. So yeah, that's who I am.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rob, for being here. And, how has it been going with the trainings? Do you feel like it's been successful?
We really actually started to customize the trainings this past week. Up until then, we had been kind of focused a little bit more on trying to orientate people to like what the concepts are. But this past week, taking in everything that's happened here, we assume that people arrive here have some working knowledge of what MBDA is, the concept and philosophy, and how they want to apply it. So we've actually been doing a lot more trainings that are specifically geared to what people are probably going to experience here.
Mhm.
So a lot of training around holding ground, holding your space, and actually moving together in large groups. They've been going pretty good. We've had anywhere from 60 people in one shot to yesterday. I think we had about 200 people.
Wow.
And so we marched them around, actually throw some real world examples at them that they might encounter here. Like, what if you're moving through space and you encounter a line of cops, right? How do you engage those cops? Do you fall back? Do you move forward? Do you move around them? If they come at you with pepper spray, we've been teaching people about how to protect themselves with pepper spray, using goggles, handkerchiefs, bandanas soaked in vinegar and apple cider, goggles with silicone seals, and how to like attend to somebody when after they've been sprayed, because that was a reality last Thursday and this past Wednesday. So it's something that we see quite often out here. So the rules that people may come here with this idea of how they're going to interact with police based upon an urban setting where you're given 3 warnings and all this other stuff, those kind of rules are off here. So you're likely to encounter violence very quickly, unpredictably, and in great numbers from the police.
Thank you so much. Give me a hug. So you heard it there. It's pretty crazy out here. The rules are off.
You should put one of these on your phone.
I'm gonna get one of these on my phone.
Get one of these on your phone. Everybody should get one on their phone. Come find the ACLU folks and we'll give you a get a warrant sticker.
Okay.
Put it on your phone. Police can't search your phone without a warrant.
Important information to know and understand because they have been trying to do that kind of stuff here.
Can I put it on there?
Yep.
Watch your finger. Got it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So that's what's taking place right now.
Can you say good morning?
Good morning. Good morning.
Can you tell us who you are?
We are here this beautiful spiritual day. We call it Red Day. My name is Tom Goldtooth Matho Awayakapi. I'm the Executive Director of the Indigenous Environmental Network. Actually, I'm the lead janitor because I got all the keys. But we are here. We have been here since the beginning in April 1st in providing advocacy and support to the Sacred Stone Camp of this need to strategize and hold the line on stopping this dark, evil black snake that represents not only the fossil fuel corporations such as Dakota Access Pipeline, but represents this global insanity that wants to kill the sacredness of that relationship that we as indigenous peoples, not only here at this sacred camp and Standing Rock Sioux Tribe and the other 7 council fires of the Sioux Nation, but all the other tribal nations that have sent their flags here, their prayers, their offerings, their donations, as well as our non-native people, the settlers, the descendants of the settlers who have come here, all standing in solidarity in prayer. That is very strong, very strong. So that's why we have been here to provide that support, to be behind the scenes, to do what we can do. Media communications is just one small component of that, to be there with some of the people we know as trained Native, nonviolent direct action people. We have our own language when we talk about direct action too. It's about energy. It's about energy and action. That's why we put movement into what we do. And we understand that as indigenous peoples. So other areas that we're helping out is coordinating with making sure that the voices here are heard, they're lifting up. And at this time we have an editor here with Indian Country Today that's here also. It has a team of people. They've been consistently writing articles that have gone out from Indian Country Today, and they also put a publication together called the No Dapple Movement,
Wow,
Indian Country.
that's beautiful.
This is a really excellent cover that really profiles that strength of our resistance. I don't know how, this was a couple weeks ago, this photo here, but I understand that this banner was taken.
Yeah.
So we're trying to look for this banner. It's probably again one of those intimidation, harassment, and part of that psychological warfare that the law enforcement is doing. We have trained veterans here as well. They have seen battle. The old ones as well as our young ones that been in Iraq and Afghanistan, all working together as well because they're familiar with that psychological warfare.
Mm-hmm.
They're singling out our leadership here. They've taken this banner, which was also a representation of bringing people together around defending the sacred. And that's why we've been always saying that we're here to support and to bring recognition for this value system that we live by as Indigenous peoples. This value system that Standing Rock Sioux tribe also speaks about, and the woman. And that's why this mini Wachoni has become that meme, that the water of life and to defend the sacred and representing the future generations. So that's why we're here also, is to defend the rights of the future generation. This young woman here was a picture that was taken wearing the traditional dress, beautiful hair and braids.
Mm-hmm.
So part of this whole resistance here is also part of the cultural and spiritual resiliency, the survival of who we are, to revitalize our languages, to revitalize that sacred responsibility that we have as guardians of the sacred. So that's all we've been doing, and we're speaking out like that. And so our elders and our youth, they don't understand why we are such a threat here, why that the state of North Dakota is constantly looking for millions and millions of dollars to support this aggressiveness, this militarization, and even criminalization of our defenders of the sacred. We're not protesters like we've been saying. We are protectors of the sacred. That's all we're doing. And so they keep on coming to try to do that psychological stuff by taking our banners, our voices away. They even single out people. They hire private security firms. And it's not just one security corporation. There's many of them that they're bringing in. And we call them thugs. A lot of throughout the world, we got people that are supporting us from some of the unions. And they call these people union busters. They're thugs. And so, they're familiar. We're familiar with them. But, and they're all around here. And they're being supported by North Dakota, supported by the law enforcement. There's a close collaboration between law enforcement and DAPL, Dakota Access Pipeline.
Yep.
But they're not reaching out and communicating with our leadership here. We have elders, the veterans, we call them Kichita. They've been constantly trying to establish that communication line. We have our own indigenous mediators who are here, who are well trained. We have our people at the security line. And so we've been doing everything that we can do. All the way from being strategic on litigation that involves the colonial government, and there's a lot of frustration in that we're aware of, because why is it that our people here, our relatives here, the Standing Rock Sioux tribe, and also the other Sioux tribes are joining in their own lawsuits, like Cheyenne River Sioux tribe, the Yankton Sioux tribe, and I understand the Oglalas in Pine Ridge. They're all joining in their own respective lawsuits. to challenge what's going on here. But why is it that within our Indigenous Environmental Network, we've done some critical analysis of the pattern of this that goes back not only a couple decades, but to the beginning of treaty making time. Why is it that we're in a situation, whether it's here, that the Standing Rock Sioux tribe, or up north, our Dene and our Cree relatives in the Tarzan industrial zone up there, that we have to fight constantly for legal standing. We have colonial legal structures that give more rights to corporations, and that's very, that's very frustrating. That's really sad that we have a system in this country that gives more rights to corporations than the rights of the original peoples, the indigenous peoples. This is our homeland. We come here standing in solidarity with the Lakota and Dakota people. Some of my relatives from Minnesota, the family there, they have relatives here. Some of my relatives and people from the Dene Nation, the Navajo Nation, they're coming here in a large group, and they've been coming here. Their relatives in the north, the northern Dene, they've been here from the Tarzans. All nations have been here, the Hopi, the Hupas, the Squalis from the northwest coast, the Lummies. They all been coming here. The Haudenosaunee, representatives of the Haudenosaunee Iroquois Confederacy have been here. The Algonquins, the Ojibways, the Ho-Chunks, they all been coming here. Even our indigenous relatives from Ecuador, they have been here with strong voices. So this is part of a prophecy of indigenous rising, the voices of indigenous rising, and the coming together, part of prophecy to unwrap, just unbundle, unwrap this whole colonization. And we've all been part of a movement of decolonization, not only within our organizing, our resistance, our campaigns, as we build this resistance that's happening here. And we have to say this is a prayer resistance. This is a spiritual resistance. It's a campaign that reconnects not only our children and our elders, but also reconnects all of humanity, reminding them, the people of the world, to reevaluate your relationship to the sacredness of Mother Earth. So that's what this is all about. This is what this is all about.
Thank you.
So,
high five, Tom.
Yeah. With that said, I gotta go. The five fingers went up to all the 5-finger clan people.
I was giving him a high five. Fist bump.
We have to
Fist bump.
We gotta watch out how we use that thumb of the 5-finger people. We put the mind together with our hands. We can either be destructive or working in balance and harmony. We are all the 5-finger clan people of the world. Thank you.
That's your lesson for today. Thank you so much, Tom. I'm gonna turn it over here real quick. I'm gonna come back to you though. Hello. Can you tell us who you are?